2. So shalom again. Thank you very much for coming to my YouTube channel. If you just joined, please subscribe, like, share, comment, press the notification button. So this is brother Michael, right? Yeah. So we are on this project together. We're standing here. It's so hectic inside. Since he's patrolling this corridor of us, we have vehicles here. This is I'm coming now. This is action camera. Then we have our department. There's our department there. Is it the art department?
I need to be there.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, yes. Yeah, it's there. It's there.
How is it?
Yeah. No, you can eat if you want to. Yeah, I don't mind. So that's a bit of yeah. What I was saying this is when you look into the basics of the Hebrew, right? So for you to understand certain things, you need to understand the basics of the language. But then when you start understanding the basics of the language, Hebrew, not the Hebrew that is spoken today in Israel, because the word Hebrew is a misnomer. It's a wrong wording or wrong saying of it or pronunciation of the word. The word Hebrew comes from Chabar. It's Hebraios from Greek. The Greek, in Greek, you don't have the sound of ha. So they couldn't say that or write, transliterate that. So what they did then, they say Hebraios. And it went there into English, in other language that came before, because English is not like, it was not, by the time the Greek were running havoc, English was not around. Only something that came later. So Hebraios then come later to come Hebrew or Heber. So Hebrew comes from Heber, but his name is not Heber or Heber in English. His name is, or in Hebrew, it's not Heber. His name is Chabar. Chabar is the grandfather of the ancestor of Abraham. So if you look from Sham in the line of Sham, that's how he comes from. So Chabar, who he did not participate in at the Tower of Babel. So when God confused the languages, confused the people, not confuse the languages, confuse the people with different languages, then Chabar, because he never did idolatry, God set him apart. So he kept the language. Not Noah. No, he's the grandfather. He's the grandson of Noah. So after Noah, Noah has 3 sons: Sham and Ham. Yeah, Ham, not Ham. Ham. So that is a bit of where this guy, how do you call it, Chabar is. So Chabar, being is a descendant of Noah. So Chabar, since he never participated in the idolatry that the other people were doing around, so God separated him, set him aside, set him apart from the others. So he kept the language that his father or his grandfather spoke. And that's the same language that Adam spoke. And Adam could only speak the language that God gave to him. And God couldn't give Adam a different language if it was not the language that God used at creation to create Adam. You see, because he has to speak the same language as God, because God was speaking to him, so they have to speak the same language. So Adam, that time the language didn't have a name because there was no need. The only time that the languages got named it's when, because it was one language until Noah, until the boat and the flood and everything. After the flood, Noah, they had same. They were speaking only one language, but when the languages got introduced, put in, now they're speaking different languages. Oh, the sun is hurting. Yeah, I think I can see the shadow here, but the sun is here. Yeah. So Noah then, what happened then? That's Sham and Habal. When the languages got introduced, everyone who was involved in idolatry was speaking a different dialect. But Habal didn't speak a different dialect. So everyone who spoke something, the language was named after the name of that person. Because you remember, it was not like we are now, right? It used to be like, you know, people in one place there, people maybe there, and they, yes. So not like then they become different nations, you see. So if you spoke, let's say Michael, and when they spoke about you, they say, oh, the language that Michael speaks. So they will maybe name it Michael. That's how you have Canaanite, you have Assyrian, Ashur. Those are the names of the descendant of you know, the great-grandchildren of Noah, right? Because if you look at all of them, they come from the same families. So then Habal, his language, what he was speaking, for the first time we heard about how the language is called is when when Lot was taken hostage by this other king, and Abram has to go and rescue his nephew, or cousin, whatever, his nephew. Yeah. So they came and said to Abram the Hebrew. That's the term that the Habareh.
And his servants went to rescue him.
Yes, but then when they talk that the servant of Lot came to Abram, the Habareh, the word is Habareh, which is known today as a Hebrew, but it's not Hebrew. The Greek couldn't say Habar or Habareh, so they kept it Hebraios. Then it's become Hebrew, and from that's why you see. That's why, sorry, I don't say Hebrew. If I say the language, I say Habar. You see, I will say Habar. So even if you see my YouTube channel, it's Ha-Habareh. Ha-Habareh means the Hebrew. Yes. So the Hebrew, in that language, or in Hebrew, it means Ha-Habareh. If I just say Habareh, I'll say Hebrew. But if I say Habareh, the Hebrew. If I say he is Hebrew, Ho Habareh, I will say that. Ho. If I say she's a Hebrew, I say Ho Habareh. That's a bit of her. That's how it's go. So if I say Hebrews, Habareh, you have a ma, the ma at the end to make it plural. Habareh, Habareh, the Hebrews. So that's a bit of how that language is. So, and that's one of the languages that we are now learning to speak. And you know, the progress, we are progressing. I can read fluently, not like fluently, but I can read quite, you know, easily. I can even recite you the 10 Commandments in that language now. I can say the Lord's Prayer. You know, the Lord's Prayer, the Mashiach, the Messiah, gave his disciple. I can say in the language, we say Abeno. Abeno means our Father. Abe is Father. Abeno is our Father. Abeno, Shabbat Shamim, in the heaven. Who is in the heaven? So Habeno, Shabbat Shamim, Yafa Kadash Shamcha, Wayatha Barach, מלכותך, רצונך, יאה חשואי, בשמים ובארץ, ותתן לקמנו, תמידית ומקול לנו, חטאתנו, אשר אנחנו מוקלים לחוטאים לנו על, תבי אנו. Yes. לידי נסיון, ושמרינו מחל ראי אמן.